Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. It depends with your area code. My name is Kabi Kinuthia from Golden Dreams Land and Properties Limited. Of course, it's 2025, so I can say Happy New Year to all of you, our investors, and everybody who is tuned for this. My name, as I said, is Kabi Kinuthia, and we are live from our offices, Ruiru Town, BD House, third floor. Today, I have a special guest. I will let her introduce herself, then we go on with the topic of the day and why we are here, because we have a serious topic and you should make sure you listen to us. So let my guest introduce herself.
Thank you very much, Kabi, for hosting me. Allow me to say hi to our viewers from the Facebook side, from the TikTok side. So good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, depending with your area code. My name is Wamboi, CEO Golden Dreams Land and Properties Limited. And today I want you to get a piece of paper, or rather a book somewhere that you can write, because we have a very interesting topic that we want to discuss this day, so that at least we can enlighten you on the process of buying a piece of land and the mistakes that you should avoid, so that at least you can get that piece of land as well as get your title deed under your name. Because we know anytime you're planning to buy a piece of land, the only thing that you look forward to getting the legal document, that is the title deed, so that you can be the legal owner of that piece of land. So get a piece of paper or a book and a pen, sit down, let's interact. In case you have any questions, watu wa TikTok, feel free to ask. Watu wa Facebook, feel free to ask that question, so that we can be reading from the same page. So karibuni sana to Golden Dreams Land and Properties Limited, where we say title deed is our DNA. So let's start this show today and let's interact.
How do I feel like I should let you host me anyway? Let me tell you guys, sometimes it's a challenge, but you accept the challenge for you to be able to do something. I've always learned from her. Sometimes when I come to making an interview, it gets so hard. And then the other side of me tells me, you will gonna do it, Kabi. So guys, stay tuned from our TikTok side, guys. Stay tuned and learn from us. So the topic of the day is, maybe you've bought land and you've had things that you faced through that buying process. So today, I want our CEO to give you all the briefing. I'm just letting the question out, and then she will take you through the process and everything that is needed. So our topic is mistake people make when buying land, and also the professional that you should use when buying land. Yes. But because I guess the topic is wide enough, we're gonna deal with mistake people make when buying land. Yeah. And then of course, CEO, we need a part 2 of this.
Yes, we do, because this topic is very wide. So if we start talking about the mistakes alone, we might take the whole day, because we want our viewers to be enlightened, so that in the year 2025, if part of your resolutions is to buy a piece of land, at least don't be among the people. Actually, the survey shows 8 out of 10 people, they lose their money anytime they want to buy a piece of land, simply because there is a mistake they made somewhere. Maybe they missed just a step. So they never got to go through the whole process of buying that piece of land. And that's why you find 8 out of 10 people. That's a big number by there, quite, And so we want to enlighten these people, so that they don't fall in that trap or in that bracket of 8 out of 10 people. So today, Kabi, I want them to learn something, that anytime you're buying a piece of land, there is one thing that I've learned from people. We assume. Let's take, for example, Kabi, anytime you're buying maybe a pair of shoes, maybe clothes, or maybe food, what do you normally do?
Of course, I go to the shop, fit the shoes, I feel I'm okay with it, I check the price, I'm comfortable with it, then I take it home. There's no way I'm going to buy a shoe that I feel inanifinya. Now, at a point, I feel the budget is too high. I consider a lot of things. So I can consider to leave it for now, come back later for it. So at least I make sure I fit the shoes. And the budget, I'm comfortable with that budget.
Thank you. Yes. Now, that brings us to our first point. That is failing to do something we call due diligence. Why are you buying that piece of land? Where do you want to buy that piece of land?
Sure.
What is the purpose? These are some of the things that we assume. And again, anytime you hear maybe somebody is selling that piece of land, for instance, we are here as Golden Dreams, and maybe there is somebody who's here who has seen maybe an advert through online or maybe the mainstream media. And then you see we have a project somewhere in Masinga, Matu, or maybe in Malindi. And then you just at your comfort, you assume whatever these people are selling must be legit. You know? That's a confusion somewhere. Stop assuming. So due diligence is very, very important. Anytime you hear maybe a person or a company is selling a piece of land, make a point of you wanting to know who are these people. That is where you start. For instance, at Golden Dreams, we said we are located in Ruiru Town, BD House. This is part of your due diligence, even before you decide to buy that piece of land, because we buy land for different purposes. Everybody decide to buy a piece of land. Maybe there is that person who wants to build a home. There is somebody who wants to do an investment, or rather another way of saving your money instead of keeping your money in the bank. So anytime we are here telling you there is a company called Golden Dreams located in Ruiru Town, BD House, pay us a visit. We are not charging you anything. Always make a point of visiting the office so that you can know the location. And also, the moment you get to this office, it's also good to know who are the owners of that company. But before even you get to the office, it's always good to know, is that company registered? Okay? And right now, I think with the Real Estate Association, you can also be able to know if a company is in that Real Estate Association, because there is an association for the real estate. You can be able to know if that company that you're going to invest with, is it legit? Rather also, you can go to, I believe everybody has an eCitizen account. You can get there, go to the registration of the companies. You'll be able to see if Golden Dreams is registered. Actually, it will give you even the PIN number for that company. That's part of your due diligence. Now, we are here telling you, we have some pieces of land in Matu, Malindi, Masinga. It's always good to do something we call a site visit. And anytime you want to do a site visit, I've said don't assume, because in most cases people are assuming like everything or anything you hear is correct. Anybody can make a mistake. So the moment you've known the company is there, the office is there, now decide to do a site visit. For us, we give you a free site visit every day from Monday to Saturday. But also, before you get to that, ask yourself, the kind of land that I want to buy, what is the purpose of it? Why am I buying it? You know? How will I be able to benefit with it? These are some of the things that you need to ask yourself. Don't just wake up in the morning and decide, I want to buy a piece of land. I mean, there is one thing I always say, kununua shamba, sio kununua mkate kwa duka. Like now you just wake up, you go buy bread from the shop and you are back to the house. It is a process. So basically, ask yourself, why am I buying this piece of land? And again, another thing, when you decide to buy that piece of land, the location, the locality of that piece of land. Ask yourself, how long will this area take to develop? I mean, don't just wake up, alafu uende ukanunue shamba sijui unaenda kununua wapi, kwa kichaka. I mean, ask yourself, the accessibility. This is still another thing that you need to put in mind. How accessible is that piece of land? The neighborhood, how is it? At Golden Dreams, the projects that we have actually, we are talking of 90%, 98% neighborhood, okay? So these are some of the things you need to know. Put that in mind. Due diligence is very, very important. And due diligence, by this still, it is very wide, alone as a topic, because it entails a lot of things. Why, when, what, you know, these are some of the things that you need to know and ask yourself. The other thing, Kabi, there is one thing, anytime you're buying a piece of land, everybody is looking forward towards purchasing, and then you get a title deed. But before then,
Yes, I remember. Let me cut you short. There's a time you feel like people tell you, nataka a ready title deed. There's a point of people don't understand what that ready title deed means. Because people think it's a title, it's already written your name, you get to the office, you pay, get out and get the documents and get the title deed. It's good to tell them, if you mean that title deed, ready title deed, what is it still? Because as much as they are doing the due diligence, it's part of that as a due diligence. So it's good you explain. What does it mean of a person saying, I want a plot with a ready title deed?
Thank you. What is a ready title deed? Actually, we'll still discuss that some other time, because still that's another another different topic, whereby what is entailed in a title deed. But again, just to answer that, just like you said, there are some clients who will come to the office. Amenda site, you've decided to buy that piece of land, and then you come to the office, you are asking for a title deed. Number one, let me just make this clear. We are not the one who process a title deed, okay? A title deed is processed by the government from the registry. And that is why the Kenyan law indicates that it takes 90 working days, not less than that. And note, 90 working days, excluding weekends and holidays. That's one thing that you should put in mind. So, what is a ready title deed? Because this is a question and a confusion that most of the people go through. Hey!
And let me tell you something. A lot of people confuse their clients with that particular statement.
Particular ready title deed. Number one, each and every piece of land with a title deed, that is a ready title deed. Whether it is a mother title or a subtitle, because there is a difference. Anytime you buy a piece of land, for instance, as a company, you do subdivision. So after subdividing, the mother title produces the subtitles, which are the title deeds for each and every plot. But again, there is one thing that you need to understand. Any piece of land with a title deed, that is a ready title deed, whether the mother title, the way you call it, because people have different understanding. So it is good to understand that. And so anytime you're buying a piece of land, it is always good to insist. Get that mother title so that you can do the search to know whether that piece of land that you're selling, it is true, that mother title, is it for that piece of land? And that's something that you should always insist. At Golden Dreams, anytime you come here and you've done your site visit and you want us to give you that mother title, we will always be able to give you that mother title. And if you're buying from an individual, there is one thing, so that we can actually, people be able to understand when you're conducting the search through the mother title. Always remember to ask for the ID, the ID copy for the owner, and also the KRA PIN. And for instance, in a company like Golden Dreams, there are those people who will say they want the mother title, and there is the certificate and the PIN for the company. You can still use them to conduct your search. So it is always good. But remember, each and every piece of land with a title deed, that is a ready title deed, or a mother title, as most of the people call it. I think everybody understands the language mother title. So that's another thing that you should always insist. Insist on getting the mother title to conduct your search. And in case you're buying from an individual, insist to get the ID copy, the KRA PIN as well. In case you're buying from a company, insist to get the certificate and the PIN also, and the mother title, so that you can be able to conduct your search and know whether that piece of land belongs to Golden Dreams or it belongs to the owner. Because even us as the company, we buy from an owner that piece of land. Sawa. Any question to that point?
And I would insist on this. If you're buying from a particular person, it's registered under the name of the person. For us as a company, if you're buying from Golden Dreams, it is written, the mother title is written Golden Dreams, because we are the company that is selling the property to you. And we are the people we will go to an agreement with. Sometimes you find someone telling you, kama like what wanajua our director, I want to buy land from Golden Dreams. And maybe anaamini itakuwa imeandikwa our director's name. No. For this case, we are a company. So our title deeds, our mother title deeds, all our individual titles are registered under Golden Dreams, and that is when now you get a transfer to your particular name.
Yes.
But if you're buying from an individual, you should know the person who you're buying to is the person who should be written in the title deed, because you get some people. Okay, I've come to notice people trust buying individually,
Exactly.
but unapata it's for Mwangi and the property belongs to Kamau.
Yes.
That is something that will drain you. It will drain you, and you'll not even be sure where you're
Yes.
going. So part of the due diligence is big, and now that is when we involve the title deed and all the necessity that are needed for the due diligence. So CEO, we are doing it so well. So let these people get much educated about what is it that where do we go wrong. You know, they just feel like due diligence is the only part that they go wrong. But you go wrong in so many things. And you can only learn this from learning from the best.
Yes.
So we can still go on. Let
Thank
these
you.
people know.
Now we go back to the point whereby we said insist on doing a site visit. It is very, very crucial. And this is where Kabi, when we were starting, I asked you one question.
Yeah.
When you're buying a pair of shoes, clothes or something else, you always go to the shop.
Yeah.
You don't buy, okay, even if nowadays there are people who are buying from the comfort of their homes through online, but you'll always find their complaints.
Yes.
Whatever I ordered versus what was delivered, it is still the same thing. Here, you'll find a piece of land that a certain company is selling. Let's say, for example, at Golden Dreams, right now we are selling Masinga and we are selling Matu at the same time, also Malindi and Makutano.
Yeah.
Now, you'll see an advert somewhere, maybe online or maybe the mainstream media. And then from the comfort of your home, you'll make assumptions. I want that piece of land. You've not even decided to do a site visit. How sure are you the piece of land you're buying it is the same thing that you'll get to the ground?
Sure.
This is where we are insisting. Always insist on doing a site visit.
Yes.
It is very good by the way, because you'll be able to know the locality of that piece of land where you're buying. How is the area itself? You know, the kind of people living around that area, how are they? The developments, you know, these are some of the things that you need to know. And especially at Golden Dreams, anytime we are selling a piece of land, we always tell you that we do something we call value addition, so that at least our customers, they get the value for their money. So anytime you want to buy a piece of land, stop assuming from your comfort of your house that whatever you have seen online is what you're going to buy.
Yeah.
My friend, you're going to cry and make us cry also. So stop assuming, stop assuming. Make a point of doing something we call a site visit. And we offer free site visit, so that at least go to the ground and verify. And also, ukifika pale kwa ground, take your time. Take your time. Go around through that piece of land, at least so that you can know even the borders zimefika wapi. These are some of the things that you also need to know. The other thing, another mistake that people make when you go to for the site visit, insist on talking to the neighbors. Why? You'll be able to know. With the neighbors, by the way, there is one thing, neighbors will tell you, hiyo shamba hata iko na kesi kwa koti. They always know. These people always know because they've lived there long. It's good. Interact with them. Because you might go to that piece of land, paying that site visit, and then all of a sudden upate neighbor wamechomoka na tupanga hii side and the other side. It's good. By the way, interact with the neighbors. Let even the neighbors educate you how they live in that area. Sure. It's good to know. And by the way, do you know, neighbors will always know kashamba kakiwa na kesi.
Unajua neighbors wanakanga nani? Have you ever gone to a new town? Ushaenda city mgeni hivi, city hujajulikana sana, kuna mtu anakaanga ni kama mwenda wazimu, ni kama mlevi. And then you just pass him, akusalimia ufanye uko na madharau kidogo.
Na mlevi anaongeanga ukweli.
Huyo sasa huyo anakuambianga ukipita, wewe ringa tu lakini utanipata hapa, najua kenye unatafuta. That's the same situation with a neighbor.
Yes.
Ukiona neighbor kwanza yuko friendly. Like for instance, I get so happy when I see the Masinga neighbor. When she akiona gari hivi, she's the first person to kujua nataka kujua leo mko aje, and then she can tell you niko na kuku, niko na nini, so you get to interact so well. So unajua you're safe.
Yes.
But ukienda mahali hata neighbor mwenyewe hamuoni, hata uonangi mtu kwa hiyo barabara, hebu referan, Learn for your life, CEO.
Thank you. Because everything may seem okay. You've done the other part of due diligence. But again, assuming the neighbors, stop assuming. Interact with the neighbors. They'll know if that land has any issues. They've lived there long. They'll even explain to you the history of that piece of land, because these are some of the things actually, when you go to the registry, they cannot be able to explain everything to you. But again, the neighbors will make it easier for you. They will tell you this piece of land ilikuwa ya fulani, actually ilikuwa ya mzee fulani akaachia watoto wake. They'll know if hata kama hiyo shamba iko na kesi mahali, right? If there is any issue, you'll be able to learn that from the neighbors. So always make sure anytime you pay a site visit, interact with the neighbors. You'll be able to learn a lot that you cannot be able to learn from the registry, because at the registry you just go to conduct a search. They'll give you the green card history. You'll be able to know shamba ilitoka kwa huyu ikakuja kwa huyu ikafika kwa Golden Rims. That's the only information that they'll give you, but they'll not tell you if that piece of land iko na issue. So insist on interacting with the neighbors. The other point that people actually, I don't know, this is an issue with many people, dealing with unregistered brokers. I have no issues with brokers, because brokers, they play a very good role. Hao ndio wanajuanga mahali kuna shamba. But again, the point is, most of the people, they tend to assume. A broker amekuja akakwambia Kabi, kuna shamba inauzwa mahali. And you'll just wake up, follow that broker without even knowing. As long as you're dealing with a broker, insist. Let the broker be a bridge between you and the owner. Okay? So that at least you can be able to know whatever the broker is telling you is right. Stop assuming a broker can know everything, and especially in that area. Utajipata umepatia huo broker pesa, ameenda nayo na wewe ubaki kama huna shamba na huna pesa yako. It's always good. I have no issue with them, because actually it is the same thing. I think everybody uses a broker if you really want to achieve something or you want to get something and you have no other way. But again, insist on getting to know the owner also. A broker is just a bridge for you and the owner. Okay? So always remember that. I have no issue. That's what I've said before anze kutupiga hapa. Na najua wako hapa online. We have no issue. Munafanya kazi mzuri, but sometimes munakuanga, you hinder these people to get the right information. Because unapata mtu hapa ako zile za hapana, unajua mwenyewe alisema mimi ni deal nayo. You know, alafu unajua anakuanga na kifua by the way. Mwenyewe alisema mimi ni deal nayo, ni seal hiyo deal. No, hapana. What if you agree to seal the deal with that broker? What will happen? And maybe the owner is not there, okay? These are some of the things that you need to know to avoid such mistakes. Okay? The other point, you assume. If you tell people, wale watu wenye, unajua kuna wale wazee wako kule ushago, the sellers from the village, they cannot con you.
The old shoes, don't they call them
Sahara boots na kabuti ingine hawatoangi. I mean, assuming that a villager, or those brokers from the village, that they cannot con you. My friend, we are not living in the century whereby we used to assume things. Everybody is now very wise. Okay? You know, ukifikiria ule mwenye ako ushago haezi kukone, unapata by the way, most of the people hata wanakoniwa kutoka ushago. Stop assuming. Hata wenye wako ushago hawezi kukone. And that's a problem. And actually I've had this issue. I remember there is a time we had a topic. I think ilikuwa ni TikTok. And there is somebody who said, mimi kama si mzee akona kabuti na amevaa Sahara boots, mimi siwezi nunua. Okay, assume. Unajua aje huyo mzee, unamjua aje? That's the question.
Hiyo inanileta ile anakukol. Ukienda hiyo ushago na polisi wanakuambia sasa hata wewe huyu alikukona aje? Huyu anaweza kona mtu. Unabaki wewe unawekwa police station.
Yes.
So be very keen.
Yes. Because they tend to assume they know that area very well. Unajua wale wazee wako kule kijiji, they assume they know that area more than any other person. That's why you are finding whereby we are getting the ratio of 8 out of 10 people getting conned their money because they trust the villagers so much when you're buying that piece of land. Stop assuming, okay? Due diligence is very, very important. The other point, when you're buying a piece of land, stop hurrying the process. Na hapa ndio kiko Kabi. You know one thing, there is a client atakuja ende site visit. The next thing amekuja hapa amesign agreement title deed yangu. I mean, how? Okay, Golden Dreams does not produce our title deeds. The government produces the title deed. So, and that is why the Kenyan law indicates 90 working days. Now you've gone for site visit, you've come to the office, you've paid, you are insisting on getting a title deed. Mimi ndakutolea title wapi surely? Where? I mean, okay fine, kuna venye unapewa ile ya River Road yenye na unasainiwa vizuri sana. But again,
you know that's the only way you'll find yourself with a fake title deed na ujui ilitoka wapi.
Patience is the key.
Sure.
Buying a piece of land, by the way, you need to be very patient. Stop hurrying the process. Okay? I know sometimes it gets out of hand. We've had this issue with people saying, mimi nilinunua a place fulani and I ended up taking a whole year end. Number one, there is one thing I would really love to clarify.
Sure.
The registry processes the title deed. And you know very well you cannot be able to hurry the government. That's another thing that you need to understand.
Sure.
We might have played our part so well. You know, you've submitted all the documents required and everything else that is required. But again, when you go to the registry, that is where the issue is. And this is something that people will never understand. People cannot understand that you said that you buy a piece of land and within 90 working days, you'll get a title deed. Let me give you the assurance where it is. As long as you're buying a piece of land and that piece of land has a title deed, it is very easy to get your title deed on time, okay? And that's why we said insist on getting the mother title to do the search so that you can be able to know. But in case you're buying a piece of land without a title deed, I will not assure you that you'll get your title deed on time. But the process itself, you have to be very patient. It is the government that processes the title deed. It is not the company. So, or maybe the individual, you know? This is one thing that you need to know. So anytime you've done your payment, you've done your search, you've done everything and you're satisfied, you've decided to pay for that piece of land, always remember, being patient is the key. You'll get your title deed on time, okay? So stop hurrying the process.
Jina nikumbusha nini? Kale ka pressure unapatananga nako. Nililipata sijasikia mkiniongelesha. Let me tell you something. There's a time we had a situation, I remember. We had done everything, paperwork. They were even tight. You know, naambianga watu registry ni watu. These guys, they were typed, everything was done. Unajua inakuanga imebaki nini? Ile signature ya registrar.
Hiyo peke yake.
Ako na kastamp. Akaenda leave. Yes, that is when ulikuwa umeenda registry. You know me, I've ever worked there. Ushaenda registry hata umepigia client simu. Ndio hii title deed. Anaona iko na jina. Nini imebaki? Ni seal na signature ya registrar. Kesho yake mnaenda registrar mapema. Mnajua registrar ataingia saa 2. Ameenda leave. And you know what happens when he or she goes to a leave? Inamaanisha mahali aliachia kama ni yeye aliweka signature. Hiyo title haiwezi seal, haiwezi kwa the stamp na mtu mwingine. Ule mwenye aliweka, sometimes tulikuwa tuna explainia kwa title deed the last time kama uli watch. Kuna hiyo signature na kuna ka stamp. It need to be one person. Cause mimi siwezi kuja nione ukumesign, niweke stamp yangu na sijui kama ulipita the right process. So they have to wait. Kama registrar ameenda wiki mbili mjue hiyo paperwork inakaa kando, kazi nyingine inaendelea. And sometimes you lack to understand. But venye nilikuja kukaa hivi na registrar najua, there's a lot of things that happen juu ya watu wenye wamehurry the process. Mwingine anakuja anatua anasainiwa title deed, anatolea client anaenda. When I came to understand what happens, ndio nilipata patient ya registrar. Because you wouldn't understand. Hii ni karatasi, imetaipiwa, imefanywa kila kitu. Why not just sign, give me my title? And then you find the signature and the stamp should be from one person. That is when you wake up Unaenda unakula ka lunch na hapo, unaenda nyumbani unasema aya acha nigoje wiki mbili. And there's nothing you can do.
Nothing.
Actually nothing.
Yes.
And there's a lot of there's another time still we had done everything. Kuna audit. When audit come, you stop. Kama ulikuwa unaandika list, you stop. Mahali uliacha kabuti yako jana, you don't enter that office. Let the audit go on until they finish, you come back. So, when we tell you we are not the one who produced the title deed, and actually, kuna mtu nilikuwa naambia, we face challenges that you feel uko na pressure CEO. Aki niko na pressure ya title deeds. Hata wewe uko na pressure, you finding one client calls you, the other one calls you, you feel uncomfortable. So msifikiria the pressure ya title deed inabebangwa na investors peke yake. Inakula ofisi, inakula sisi, sales people, inakula kila mtu, because you understand when a client calls, I don't have my title deed, you start thinking, hey, enyewe, that investor need a title deed. But hapa kwa Golden Dreams tunasemanga title deed is our DNA, and something that is a DNA CEO ni kitu iko kwa damu. Streamline yako ya damu iko na DNA yetu ya title deed. So we never get you don't struggle buying property with us, and that is the reason why we are going to tell you our products ziko wapi, tunauza how much, and we tell you more about them, and then we're going to wind up, because we said this topic is wide enough for us to have a part 2. Yes. And because I don't want you to miss part 2. Na pia sitaki ukue huna reason ya kutaka kuona part 2. Exactly. We are going to our products na tuambie hebu fanyeni uchunguzi kwa zile kampuni mnanunua nazo. There's a lot about the mistakes you do, as an investor, but we're going to come back and tell you the professional that you're supposed to use before buying land, and why it's very secure for you to buy land through a company. Exactly. So meanwhile, sio tuambie project zetu ziko wapi, tuendelee na tujue kwa nini uinvest na Golden Dreams.
Thank you very much. So, and I hope you've learned something today. Yes. But above all, there is one thing that I would really love to insist on. Buying a piece of land requires a lot of patience. Stop hurrying the process in case you want to buy a piece of land, so that at least at the end of the day, you get your piece of land as well as your title deed. So currently the projects that we have our newest project in Masinga. Yes. Masinga is the sub-county of Machakos. Yeah. Okay, so for those people who don't know, so we are in Machakos County, and the project that we are calling it Joy Gardens. We launched it last year, December, while we were breaking for Christmas. It is the newest project that we have, by the way, and as we speak right now, we can say it is 50% done. Yeah. Because the project itself, it is very prime where it is. We are talking of 10 minutes drive from Masinga town to where it is, where the project is. And in case you are asking yourself why you should go buy that piece of land, you can go to our social media platform, to view the video itself. You'll know why we want you to go and invest in that area. Number one, Masinga is well known with those people actually who do cereals. In case you want to do cereals, this is the project for you. In case you want to do fruits, this is the project for you. And maybe you're asking the kind of cereals that you are going to do there. You can do yellow beans, you can do green grams, you can do njahe, you can do what else?
Kamande.
Zote. Hizo cereals zote. And you know, by the way, Masinga, it's among the towns zenye ziko na nini zinauza cereals sana So this is the project for you. With the fruits, I mean, maembe tunajua kwanza ni season saa hii wenye wanaenda pale, by the way, our customers they are enjoying kwenda kwa ile shamba because they are coming back home happy. Wamebebana na maembe vizuri sana. Maembe yenye tunauziwa hapa Nairobi 50 bob, pale unauziwa na 5 bob ama 10 bob, by the way. And especially the neighbor mwenye tuko na yeye pale. So it's a very good place. Also, there are people who are doing farming ya kuweka kuku. By the way, it's also a very good area because of the heat that is there. It is very warm, by the way. It's a very good place. Yenye unaweza rear your chickens there. Neighbor ako hapo pia, by the way, amefanya hivyo. Wenye wanataka kuanza hii biashara, this is the project for you. So, hii project, by the way, tumefanya kitu tunaita value addition. Sure. Okay? Tumekata barabara 9 meters wide, tumekufencia. The only thing remaining to put up is a gate actually, and we are doing that eventually because all our projects zenye tuko nazo, by the way, we've done that. I know there are people wenye wako hapa wameinvest na sisi, they can bear us witness. That's something that we do. Cash price 230. In case you want to buy in 3 months installment, 250, na 6 months installment ni 280. I mean, very flexible payment plan for you. You cannot say that you are not going to invest.
Sure.
Pay a deposit of 100,000, then the rest you choose to pay either in 3 months or the 6 months, and it is inclusive of the title deed. The project itself is so close to the Masinga Boys High School, of which you know that's a national school. There is Masinga Girls. There is also the Masinga Level 4 Hospital, as well as the Masinga Police Headquarters. And also there is the Land Registry offices. They are so close to that area. So that tells you one thing. And so close to the town. I mean, from the town, 10 minutes drive. I mean, that's so close to the town. So this is the project for you. In case you are looking for a project that you feel like this is where my budget is, we have the Masinga Joy Gardens. 50% done as we speak right now. Anytime you want to do a site visit, just call us 0718 004455. Tutakupatia free site visit. Just like we've said, part of your due diligence should be going for a site visit. So that's one of the projects that we have currently.
That is Masinga Joy Gardens, courtesy of Golden Dreams Land and Properties Limited. And maybe you'll be asking yourself, this site visit, where do I go? Unakuja Ruiru, BD House, 3rd floor. That is where we are located. Na niliwaambia asubuhi, ukisimama katikati ya center ya Ruiru, uangalie hivi juu, unaona Golden Dreams from any angle that you are in. That means we are well branded. You will not miss to come to Golden Dreams. Exactly. Apart from Joy Garden Masinga, we have Baraka Garden. That is phase 3 and 4, touching Kivandini Masinga bypass. And maybe nimekuwa na hiyo question, wapi hii Masinga bypass ni wapi? Unatoka hapa unafika Thika, unaingia Thika Garissa Road. Unaenda na hiyo barabara 1 hour hadi Matu. Ukifika Matu unaendelea na safari na Thika Garissa Road. Unafika Kivandini, pale ni center iko pale mbele. After kwa Governors Lounge, hapo mbele kuna Kivandini. Unaingia on the left. The moment umeingia tu on the left, that is Kivandini Masinga bypass. Utafika hadi Masinga town na utaenda hadi Masinga Dam. In case kuna vocational, ukitaka kwenda Msingini Sport Club, hiyo ndio barabara unapita. I know it's a famous sport club because of everything that happens. Vocational hapo unaweza enda. So that is Kivandini Masinga bypass. Just 2 minutes. You get Baraka Garden phase 3 and 4, touching tarmac. This is one of the products that you get there na feel vibe tu za kujenga. Ukitaka kufanya farming, it's okay, very okay actually. Ukitaka kulima, anything, even for commercial businesses, ungetaka ku set up a mall, hiyo barabara ina mall. Why don't you try that challenge and be the first person to bring up petrol station? Una biashara watu wanazaa wengi ya taya ya kutengeneza mguu ya gari. Utarudi Matu, hebu kuja hapo uweke taya.
Exactly.
Taya za duthi, taya za baiskeli. Kwanza za duthi, it's a very serious business because ladies do motorbike in Matu and Masinga. So wanawake wakiwa busy, huwezi kosa kazi. Exactly. These are 50 by 100 plots. Neighborhood iko fiti, kuna all amenities on site, maji, stima, kila kitu. Na ni 5 minutes from Matu town. These are 50 by 100 by the way. 399 cash payment. Ukilipa cash wale wa pap ni 399. Kama una feel I need an allowance of 3 months, that is 450,000. If you need an allowance of 6 months, that is 500,000. All you need is a deposit of 100K. Balance tunasonga pole pole, either in 3 months or 6 months. Na tuliwaambia asubuhi kwa live, it's upon you as an investor to decide. Hapa usifeel pressure. Kama una feel 300 450 itakusukuma na 3 months, enda kwa 6 months. Because part part of even the mistakes that you do as investors inafaa kuwa hapo. Ati mnajisukuma kwa vitu uwezi. Una feel miezi 3 ndio unataka na unajua seriously you cannot make it. Don't squeeze yourself to buy a property. Be free, have that freedom. Itakusaidia sana kubuy property vizuri sana.
And actually it's among the points, anytime you're buying a piece of land, it indicates with the Kenyan law, you should not pay the whole amount at once. No, if at all you cannot be able to afford it. It is there, by the way. It's part of the mistake that people make. And that is why you'll find in so many cases, you'll be given an installment payment. So that during that 3 months, you can be able to pay for your amount in the way you want, as part of the due diligence that you're making. Because in most cases, you'll find there is somebody who will say, hey, your 399 ni mingi sana, of which we understand. With the current economy that we have, we know you still have other bills to pay. And because we don't want you to feel the pressure, that's why we come up with a installment payment plan for you. So in case you feel like the 399, that is too much, the 230, it is too much, you have the option of the 3 months installment or the 6 months installment, so that you can be able to pay for your piece of land without pressure. Okay? That's it.
Then we have my favorite part of this country.
Malindi.
Gen Z, Gen Z, Kama uko hapo na feel, watu wananipea pressure na 399. Watu wananipea pressure na 230. Don't get worried. We have one of the beautiful projects in Malindi. That is Precious Garden Malindi. Marereni. Marereni is a center on itself, a very beautiful place. Huko ukitaka kukula chumvi ile iko kwa mlima, sio ile unaletwa na karatasi. Unaenda unachota kwa mlima, unaenda unapika nayo. So by the way guys, Malindi is my favorite part of this life. Me, I love Malindi. I think kuna venye nafaa kwenda, sio? Can you open a office munipeleke Malindi? One thing, Malindi is the best tourist destination in East Africa. Yes, it's a good place. It's warm. It's a very vibrant place. You can do farming, castor seed, melon, pineapple. Ambia watu jenga nyumba sahi. Ishi. Ukitoka kidogo unataka kurudi Nairobi, convert it to a villa, fanya biashara, it's an asset. Pata pesa. Ukichoka tena kuishi Nairobi, rudi Malindi, zeekea huko, utapata arthritis. You will not find yourself with an arthritis level because the place is warm. Because the climate is good for you and it's good for farming and it's good for settlement and it's good for you. Sasa ni nini ingine mnatafuta? Na hapa ndio maana nasema Gen Z, plots ni 130, 50 by 100. Sasa kama we ni Gen Z, mzazi anakusundanga 50k per month kwa mfuko. Sio ni mbona usipate plot. Akikupea 50k, nyakuwa mbao, unaleta mbao huku, tunaendelea. Hizi ni 50 by 100, 130,000 for cash buyers. Ukitaka na installment ni 150,000. Unalipa deposit is 50%. Tunakupeleka Malindi na ndege, unarudi hapa, unaendelea na payment ya plot yako. Ukitaka quarter, kuna wale wanafeel, siendi Malindi hivyo vyote nichukue 50 by 100. Come, take a quarter. That is 100 by 100. Bei ni 200,000. Ukitaka kulipa na installment 250,000. So, mbona usikuje tuende Malindi?
Getting that title deed under your name, it is still very, very important. So, grab this chance, kuja tuende Malindi na wewe. Any 130, peke yake, uko na shamba, 150, uko na shamba. I mean, it is very affordable for you and very flexible for you to pay. Hii hautajifinyilia. So, mapenzi kikata, nayo investment isikukatae. Sawa. 2025, think investment, talk investment. Yani hapa Golden Dreams, tuko na kila kitu. We have payment plan for each and every person. We have all the prices for each and every person, by the way. Sure. So in case you want to invest with us, feel free to come to us at Golden Dreams Land and Properties Limited. Visit us any day. We are in the office. Tutakusaidia. At least sisi wote tuko tunasema, we are land owners in the year 2025. Remember this. Don't just sit there and say you will will invest. Instead, invest and wait. Wewe eka pesa yako kwa mchanga, anza kuhesabu profit pole pole as we move on. So thank you so very much for being with us, and I hope you've learned something this day. We will continue doing more topics with you as we continue. Always remember, Golden Dreams Land and Properties Limited. Whatever we promise, that is what we deliver, and that is why we say title deed is our DNA. Ni kama tulitoa our tagline, your home, your comfort. Still, it is your home and your comfort, because hapo ukifika, umefika nyumbani. Because whatever you want, that is what you will get. Tunaenda pole pole na hii safari ya investment. Sisi wote tunakuwa landowners in Kenya. So asanteni sana, and continue choosing to invest with Golden Dreams.
May I have just few words? Yes. With 100,000 Kenya shilling. Yes. Safari ya Golden Dreams na investment uko ndani. Just 100k. Popote pale unataka 100,000 Kenya shillings, you start a journey of investment with Golden Dreams. Yeah. Something else is we are located in Ruiru, BD House, 3rd floor. Come inquire, come ask, come learn. If you have a chama, don't forget to interact with us. Exactly. Our number written in big digits. Yes. 0718 004455. Big digits, 0718 004455. I was your host, Kabi Kinuthia, and my guest is our CEO, Wambui Mwangi. Don't forget that. So this is Golden Dreams Land and Properties Limited. Don't forget to call us 0718 004455.
That is the number to call. Office, yes. Ruiru Town, BD House, 3rd floor. At Golden Dreams, we say
title deed is our DNA.